In this video, I am going to be talking about 10 amazing AA games that deserve more attention, basically games that were great but need more recognition. So let's look at the first game on our list.
Someone here is more than eager to welcome us.
Alright, let's talk about Soulstice, a game that totally deserves more love. If you're into dark fantasy worlds and some seriously cool combat, this one's a hidden gem you gotta check out.
What could unleash such immense power?
In Soulstice, you play as two sisters, Briar and Lute. These two have been turned into a chimera, which is like this badass dual-being warrior. The story is all about their bond and dealing with some heavy stuff like sacrifice and duty. It's got a lot of heart, and you really get into their journey. Now, the gameplay, it's a blast. You've got Briar for the up-close and personal melee combat, and Lute, who's got these awesome ethereal powers to back her up. Switching between their abilities during fights is super satisfying. You get this great mix of hack and slash action with some strategy thrown in. It's all about timing and working together, and when you nail it, it feels epic. The visuals in Soulstice are pretty sweet. Think dark and gothic vibes with some seriously detailed environments. Every scene looks like it's straight out of a fantasy novel. The character designs are on point, too unique and full of personality. One of the best things about Soulstice is how much passion clearly went into making it. It doesn't need a massive budget to be awesome. The combat is fluid, the story is engaging, and the whole game looks amazing. It's one of those games that just gets everything right. So if you're looking for an overlooked gem that's all about cool combat and a great story, give Soulstice a shot. It's got that perfect mix of action and heart, and it's a journey you won't forget. Dive in, master those dual abilities, and enjoy every minute of this dark fantasy adventure. Trust me, you're gonna love it. The Sinking City. Alright, let's chat about The Sinking City, a game that's perfect for anyone who loves a good mystery with a creepy, supernatural twist. If you're into detective stories and Lovecraftian horror, this game is a must-play.
Mr. Charles Reed, what a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
You play as Charles Reed, a private investigator who arrives in the city of Oakmont, Massachusetts, to figure out why he's been having these crazy, nightmarish visions. The city is half submerged and full of weird, unsettling stuff. The atmosphere is super eerie, and the whole place feels like it's hiding some dark secrets.
See what you find. It would take tremendous.
The gameplay in The Sinking City is all about exploration and investigation. You'll be solving puzzles, gathering clues, and trying to piece together what the heck is going on. It's got a lot of that classic detective vibe, where you need to really pay attention to details and think about how to use the clues you find. Combat is there, but it's not the main focus. You'll have to deal with some pretty freaky monsters, and while you can fight them off, it's often smarter to avoid them if you can. Ammo and resources are limited, so you need to be strategic about when to engage and when to run. Visually, the game nails that Lovecraftian horror feel. The city of Oakmont is dark, grimy, and falling apart, which perfectly sets the mood. The character designs and monsters are straight up creepy, adding to the whole unsettling atmosphere. The story is pretty engaging too. As you dig deeper into the city's mysteries, you'll uncover all sorts of weird cults, ancient rituals, and otherworldly horrors. It's got plenty of twists and turns to keep you hooked, and the side quests often tie into the main story in interesting ways. The Sinking City might not have the polish of a big budget game, but it's got a ton of heart and atmosphere. The detective gameplay is satisfying, the story is intriguing, and the whole vibe of the game is just perfectly creepy. So if you're looking for an overlooked gem that delivers a solid mix of mystery, horror, and exploration, The Sinking City is definitely worth checking out. Dive into the eerie world of Oakmont, solve the mystery, and try to keep your sanity intact. You won't regret it. GreedFall.
Just a tad. Like this.
Let's talk about GreedFall, a game that's perfect for anyone who loves a good RPG with a rich story and lots of choices. If you're into exploring new worlds and making tough decisions, this game should be on your radar.
Few
more minutes. You have such an incredibly singular face.
You play as D. Sarday, a noble who's off to a mysterious, uncharted island called Tir Frady. The island is full of magic, strange creatures, and a lot of political intrigue. You're there to find a cure for a plague that's ravaging your homeland, but things get complicated fast with all the different factions and secrets on the island. One of the coolest things about GreedFall is its emphasis on player choice. You get to decide how to approach situations, and your choices really matter. You can be diplomatic, sneaky, or just go in swords blazing. The way you interact with the different factions and characters can lead to different outcomes, making each playthrough feel unique. The combat is pretty fun and flexible. You can switch between melee, firearms, and magic on the fly, which keeps things interesting. Plus, you can customize your character with different skills and abilities to fit your playstyle. Whether you prefer to be a powerful mage, a skilled warrior, or a sharpshooter, the game lets you play how you want. The world of GreedFall is beautifully crafted. Tir Frady is a lush, vibrant place with a lot of diversity in its environments. From dense forests to ancient ruins, there's always something new to explore. The art style and attention to detail make the island feel alive and full of mystery. The story is engaging with plenty of twists and turns to keep you hooked. The characters you meet are well developed, each with their own motivations and backstories. Building relationships with your companions and other NPCs is a big part of the game, and your interactions with them can have significant impacts on the story. Visually, GreedFall is impressive for a double-A game. The environments are detailed, and the character designs are distinct and memorable. The music and sound design also add to the atmosphere, making your journey through Tir Frady even more immersive.
You know who they were?
GreedFall might not have the same level of polish as some AAA titles, but it more than makes up for it with its ambition and heart. The game offers a deep, rewarding RPG experience with plenty of content to keep you busy. If you're looking for an overlooked gem that combines a rich narrative with flexible gameplay and a beautiful world, GreedFall is definitely worth your time. Dive into the adventure, make your choices, and see how your story unfolds on the mysterious island of Tir Frady. Pentiment. Alright, let's dive into Pentiment, a game that's a real treat for anyone who loves narrative-driven experiences and rich, historical settings. If you're into story-focused games with unique art styles, this one's a hidden gem. You play as Andreas Mahler, a journeyman artist in 16th century Bavaria. The game revolves around a series of mysterious events and murders in the small town of Tassing and the nearby Kiersa Abbey. It's up to you to uncover the truth behind these mysteries, making decisions that impact the community and its future. It's like reading a beautiful visual novel with a very linear story, which might be off-putting for some people. Pentiment starts up very promising, quite an interesting world and characters to interact, and it gets quite tense with the murder investigations. There's so many interesting clues and evidences to gather, making you feel like a Sherlock Holmes in 16th century accompanied by amazing art style and lots of historical and literary references. Pentiment is like the folklore game I've always wanted to play. It's the medieval-ish Renaissance game I've always wanted to play. It's the murder mystery game I've always wanted to play. It scratches so many aesthetic itches that it's hard to know where to begin the praise, but I think I'll start with the deep appreciation of folklore that this game embodies. The game is really well researched, cited, and able to be referenced immediately in an illustrated glossary, fun to interact with through an easy-to-use UI, and versatile in its artistic rendering. In fact, everything you learn about this game is backed up by research that is readily available. Pentiment wants players to know that reading is not only essential to their success in the game, but also, as emphasized by its diverse cast of characters in different classes, an incredible privilege to be able to accomplish at one's leisure. The characters are beautifully fleshed out, believable, and diverse in their representations of early modern classes in class warfare. I loved every single one of them and fostered connections with them more than I have compared to other games. The time you spend with people is imperative for not only peace of mind and communal relations, but also communication and cultural knowledge. It's great that something like this can represent that in a video game. Now, the game is essentially a medieval murder mystery, but it's much more than that. The narrative is deep and multi-layered, exploring themes of faith, power, and the passage of time. Your choices matter a lot, shaping the story in significant ways. It's all about the dialogue and the relationships you build with the townsfolk. The art style is one of a kind. The game looks like a living manuscript, with visuals inspired by illuminated manuscripts in early print. It's colorful, detailed, and utterly charming. This unique style sets the mood perfectly and pulls you into the world of 16th century Europe. Gameplay-wise, Pentiment is all about exploration and conversation. There's no combat or fast-paced action here, just a lot of intriguing dialogue and detective work. You'll spend your time talking to characters, gathering clues, and making decisions that drive the story forward. It's a game that rewards patience and attention to detail. The historical accuracy and attention to detail are impressive. The game does a fantastic job of bringing the period to life, from the social dynamics to the daily routines of the characters. It feels like stepping into a different time, and you can tell a lot of love and research went into creating this world. So, if you're looking for an overlooked double-A game that offers a unique, narrative-rich experience, Pentiment is definitely worth checking out. It's a beautifully crafted game that immerses you in its historical setting and keeps you hooked with its compelling story and characters. Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden.
June, I'd hate to see January. I'd want to freeze my backside.
Alright, let's talk about Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. A game that's packed with haunting adventures and a gripping story. If you're into supernatural themes and deep, emotional narratives, this game is definitely worth a look.
Mind saying it, I'm very disappointed.
In Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden, you step into the shoes of Auntie Duarte and Redneck Wraith, a couple who are also ghost hunters or banishers. Basically, the twist is that Auntie is a spirit herself. The game is set in a fictional version of 17th century North America, where the duo navigates the challenges of both their ghostly duties and their complicated relationship.
At the tavern, where might
The game's story is incredibly engaging. It dives deep into themes of love, loss, and redemption as you explore the bond between Auntie and Red. Their relationship is the emotional core of the game, and you'll find yourself getting deeply invested in their journey. The narrative is rich with twists and turns, keeping you hooked as you uncover the mysteries of New Eden and face off against various supernatural threats. The gameplay in Banishers is a mix of action, exploration, and puzzle solving. You'll be switching between Auntie's ghostly abilities and Red's physical prowess to overcome obstacles and defeat enemies. This dynamic keeps the gameplay fresh and exciting as you have to think strategically about how to use each character's strengths. The combat is satisfying with a variety of weapons and abilities to master, making each encounter thrilling. Visually, Banishers is a treat. The game's environments are beautifully crafted with a moody, atmospheric style that perfectly suits the supernatural themes. The detailed character models and hauntingly gorgeous landscapes make exploring the world of New Eden a captivating experience. The sound design and music are also top-notch. The soundtrack is haunting and evocative, enhancing the emotional weight of the story and the eerie atmosphere of the game. One of the coolest things about Banishers is how it handles moral choices. The decisions you make can have significant impacts on the story and the fate of the characters you encounter. It adds a layer of replayability, as you'll want to see how different choices affect the outcome of the game. So, if you're looking for an overlooked gem that combines a compelling story with engaging gameplay and a beautifully crafted world, Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden is definitely worth your time. Lost in Random. Okay, let's talk about Lost in Random, a game that's a real treat for anyone who loves quirky, unique adventures with a touch of dark fantasy. If you're into games that combine a whimsical story with strategic gameplay, this one's a hidden gem you should definitely check out.
let's get
And in Lost in Random, you play as Even, a young girl on a mission to rescue her sister Odd from the clutches of a wicked queen. The Kingdom of Random is divided into 6 realms, each ruled by the roll of a dice. The story is a mix of fairy tale charm and Tim Burton-esque darkness, creating a world that's both enchanting and eerie. The gameplay is where Lost in Random really stands out. It's a mix of action and strategy with a unique twist involving dice rolls and card battles. You'll collect cards that represent different abilities, and during combat you roll a sentient dice named Dicey to determine which cards you can play. This adds a layer of unpredictability and strategy to the fights, keeping things fresh and engaging.
Who have never once been dealt a fair hand.
The art style is absolutely gorgeous. The game's world is brought to life with a distinctive, handcrafted look that feels like you're walking through a dark, twisted storybook. The character designs are wonderfully bizarre, each one oozing personality and fitting perfectly into the game's whimsical yet unsettling atmosphere.
Oh, wow! I'm gonna live in the Queen's...
The story and world building in Lost in Random are top-notch. The narrative is filled with memorable characters, witty dialogue, and plenty of twists and turns. As you explore the different realms, you'll encounter a variety of quirky inhabitants and uncover the dark secrets of the Kingdom of Random. It's a journey that keeps you hooked from start to finish.
And went in the night. All this labor.
One of the best things about Lost in Random is its creativity. The combination of action, strategy, and dice mechanics is something you don't see every day, and it works beautifully. It's a game that constantly surprises you with its originality and inventive gameplay. If you're looking for an overlooked double A game that offers a unique, engaging experience, Lost in Random is definitely worth your time. It's a beautifully crafted adventure that combines a compelling story, strategic gameplay, and a wonderfully weird world.
No breakfast tomorrow, and you couldn't hit the spot. Smooth going burn.
Bramble the Mountain King.
She was never scared like...
Alright, let's talk about Bramble the Mountain King, a game that's a true hidden gem for anyone who loves atmospheric adventures with a touch of folklore. If you're into games that blend beautiful visuals with a dark fairy tale story, this one's for you. In Bramble the Mountain King, you embark on a journey through a magical world inspired by Nordic folklore. You play as a young boy trying to save his sister from the clutches of the terrifying Mountain King. The story is enchanting and eerie, filled with mythical creatures and dark legends that pull you in from the start. The game's visuals are absolutely stunning. Bramble is like stepping into a beautifully illustrated storybook with lush forests, sparkling rivers, and ominous caves. The art style perfectly captures the magic and danger of the world, making every scene a feast for the eyes. The attention to detail in the environments and character designs is truly impressive. Gameplay-wise, Bramble combines exploration, puzzle solving, and platforming. The puzzles are clever and fit seamlessly into the world, challenging you to think creatively as you navigate through various obstacles. The platforming elements are smooth and enjoyable, adding a layer of excitement to the exploration. It's not just about the challenge, though, it's about immersing yourself in this rich, atmospheric world. Bramble the Mountain King is not just about its stunning visuals and engaging gameplay, it's also about the emotional journey. The bond between the siblings and the perilous adventure they undertake adds depth to the story, making it resonate on a personal level. It's a game that combines heart with mystery, keeping you invested in the outcome. One of the best things about Bramble is how it brings folklore to life. The mythical creatures you encounter are both fascinating and frightening, each with its own story and place in the world. It's a game that respects its source material and uses it to create something truly unique and captivating. If you're looking for an overlooked gem that offers a beautiful, haunting adventure, Bramble the Mountain King is definitely worth checking out. It's a game that blends gorgeous visuals, engaging puzzles, and a touching story to create an experience that stays with you long after you've finished. VamPyr.
Punishment. A righteous snare to keep mankind from us.
Alright, let's talk about VamPyr. A game that's all about dark choices, gritty atmosphere, and a deeply engaging story. If you're into gothic settings and moral dilemmas, this game should definitely be on your radar.
A true punishment.
In VamPyr, you step into the shoes of Dr. Jonathan Reed, a doctor who's been turned into a vampire. Set in post-World War I London during the Spanish flu pandemic, the game oozes atmosphere and has a setting that's both haunting and beautiful. The story follows Jonathan as he struggles with his new vampiric nature while trying to save the city from the deadly outbreak. One of the coolest things about VamPyr is its focus on choices and consequences. As a doctor and a vampire, you're constantly torn between your Hippocratic oath and your thirst for blood. Every decision you make affects the game world and the people around you. Do you feed on a citizen to gain strength, or do you resist and try to help them? These choices shape the narrative and can lead to multiple endings, adding a ton of replayability.
Get out of here!
The combat is pretty intense, mixing melee and ranged attacks with vampiric powers. You'll have to manage your blood supply carefully, using it to heal or unleash powerful abilities. It's a nice balance of action and strategy, and the difficulty can be quite challenging if you choose to abstain from feeding on innocent people.
The strength I never knew I had. This shouldn't be possible.
He's dead!
Visually, VamPyr is fantastic. The game's depiction of 1918 London is dark, atmospheric, and full of detail. The environments are meticulously crafted, from the foggy streets to the eerie, abandoned buildings. The character models and animations are also well done, making the interactions feel genuine and immersive. The story is a major highlight. It's rich with lore and filled with interesting characters, each with their own backstories and secrets. As you explore the city, you'll uncover various subplots and mysteries that deepen the overall narrative. The dialogue is well written, and the voice acting adds a lot of depth to the characters, especially Jonathan Reed. VamPyr might not have the massive budget of a AAA game, but it more than makes up for it with its ambition and heart. The focus on moral choices and the impact of your decisions make it stand out in the action RPG genre. If you're looking for an overlooked gem that combines a compelling story with intense gameplay and a rich, atmospheric world, VamPyr is definitely worth checking out.
Thirsty. So thirsty.
Darksiders 2. A game that's a wild mix of action, adventure, and RPG elements. If you're into epic quests, badass combat, and a rich, immersive world, this game is a hidden gem you've got to check out.
Look at me now.
In Darksiders 2, you play as Death, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The story runs parallel to the events of the first Darksiders game, with Death on a quest to clear his brother War's name and save humanity. It's a tale of redemption, mystery, and epic battles set in a beautifully crafted universe. What sets Darksiders 2 apart is its blend of gameplay styles. You've got fast-paced hack-and-slash combat that feels incredibly satisfying. Death wields a variety of weapons, from massive scythes to fast, dual-wielding gauntlets. The combat is fluid and dynamic, with plenty of combos and special moves that keep every fight exciting. But it's not just about combat. Darksiders 2 also features a deep RPG system. You'll level up, gain new abilities, and collect loot that enhances your weapons and armor. The customization options are great, allowing you to tailor Death's abilities and gear to your playstyle. Whether you prefer to be a tanky bruiser or a nimble, high-damage dealer, the game has you covered. The world of Darksiders 2 is vast and varied. You'll explore different realms, each with its own unique look and feel. From lush forests to desolate wastelands and eerie dungeons, the environments are beautifully designed and full of secrets to uncover. The level design encourages exploration, with plenty of hidden areas, puzzles, and treasures to find. Speaking of puzzles, Darksiders 2 has plenty of them. The game strikes a nice balance between combat and puzzle solving, with intricate environmental puzzles that require a bit of brain power to solve. These puzzles break up the action nicely and add depth to the overall gameplay. Darksiders 2 is a game that offers a lot of content. The main quest is lengthy and engaging, but there are also tons of side quests, collectibles, and challenges to keep you busy. It's a game that rewards exploration and curiosity, with plenty of surprises waiting around every corner. If you're looking for an overlooked gem that combines thrilling combat, deep RPG elements, and a richly detailed world, Darksiders 2 is definitely worth your time.
Your secrets can...
Ghostwire Tokyo. Alright, let's talk about Ghostwire Tokyo, a game that blends supernatural action with a hauntingly beautiful version of Tokyo. If you're into creepy atmospheres, supernatural powers, and exploring a city like never before, this game is a must-play. In Ghostwire Tokyo, you find yourself in a Tokyo where almost everyone has mysteriously vanished, leaving the city eerily empty and filled with supernatural beings. You play as Akito, a young man possessed by a spirit detective named KK, who grants him mystical powers. Together, they need to uncover the mystery behind the disappearances and deal with the otherworldly threats that have taken over the city. What makes Ghostwire Tokyo stand out is its unique combat system. Instead of traditional weapons, you use a combination of elemental magic and spiritual abilities. You can shoot fireballs, summon wind blasts, and even use water to defeat your enemies. The combat feels fluid and dynamic, and it's super satisfying to use these powers against the creepy spirits haunting the city. The game's version of Tokyo is absolutely stunning. The developers have created a detailed, atmospheric rendition of the city, blending real-world locations with supernatural elements. The neon lights, dark alleys, and empty streets create an eerie yet captivating environment. Exploring Tokyo is a thrill in itself, with lots of hidden secrets, collectibles, and side missions that add depth to the game. The story in Ghostwire Tokyo is intriguing and filled with Japanese folklore and mythology. As you progress, you'll encounter various yokai spirits and learn about their backgrounds and motivations. The narrative does a great job of mixing horror and action, keeping you engaged with its mysterious and often creepy plot twists. Visually, the game is a treat. The graphics are top-notch with impressive lighting effects and detailed environments that make the supernatural version of Tokyo feel alive. The character and enemy designs are also well done, adding to the overall atmosphere of the game. Ghostwire Tokyo is a game that offers a lot of content. The main quest is engaging, but there are also plenty of side activities and optional missions that flesh out the world and provide more challenges. It's a game that encourages exploration and rewards you for taking the time to uncover all its secrets. If you're looking for an overlooked gem that combines supernatural action, an atmospheric setting, and an intriguing story, Ghostwire Tokyo is definitely worth checking out.